Hello all, I am Lalit Sai. Welcome to the lecture on continuous wavelet transform. Today we are going to discuss what is continuous wavelet transform, why do we use continuous wavelet transform and analysis of continuous wavelet transform. Now let's see why do we go for continuous wavelet transform. Whenever we want frequency information of a signal, we go for Fourier transform of that signal, but it has some limitations. For example, let's take two signals, upchip signal and downchip signal. If we observe the frequency response of those two signals, the frequency response is same for those signals. In this case, we are not able to distinguish what is the upchip signal and what is the downchip signal. So this limitation can be achieved by some other transforms like short time Fourier transform or continuous wavelet transforms. As discussed in the previous example, we found that limitations of Fourier transform, it only gives frequency components of the existing signal. Through Fourier transform, we cannot tell at what time the frequency components occur. But in many cases, we need to analyze time frequency representation. For that, there are so many alternatives. Few of them are short time Fourier analysis and another one is wavelet transform. In wavelet transform, there are so many types we will see. Now let's see what is a wavelet and analysis of wavelet. A wavelet is a waveform which has limited duration and average value of 0. For example, if we take the power of the wavelet, it will become 0. And wavelet analysis is nothing but just like Fourier transform, how we see the frequency response of a signal. With wavelet analysis, we can observe the frequency response of the wavelet. Wavelet In this analysis, the signal is shifted and scaled version of the original wavelet. Just like Fourier transform, in wavelet transform also we are having two types. One is discrete wavelet transform, another one is continuous wavelet transform. In this video, we are going to discuss about continuous wavelet transform. Now let's see what is called continuous wavelet transform. The sum over all time of the signal multiplied by scaled shifter version of the wavelet function is called continuous wavelet transform. For example, for the continuous wavelet transform, we can observe the given equation where f of t is the wavelet equation and this is the scaling equation. Now, scaling is the one of the property of wavelet transform. Scaling a wavelet, it will become the stretched signal or compressing the signal, where A is the scaling factor. In the figure, we can observe some of the examples with the different scaling factor. For A equal to 1, this is the wavelet. For A equal to 1 by 2, the signal is compressed. For A equal to 1 by 4, the signal is more compressed. If we take the value of A more than 1, it will become stretching. Just like how scaling was done in time domain, we can also do scaling in frequency domain. Low scaling means high frequency, high scaling means low frequency. Let's see shifting property of the wavelet. In the given first figure, we observe the signal starting from time equal to 0. Whereas in figure 2, we observe the signal starting from time equal to k. That means the first signal in figure 1 is shifted k times in the second figure. Now let us discuss the steps involved in continuous wavelet transform. Now we are having signal and wavelet function. Take a sample wavelet and compare it to the start section of the original signal. Wavelet is time specified. That means it extends from 0 to t. See, in the same time signal is extended from 0 to infinity. So we have to keep wavelet passing from 0 to infinity during certain intervals of time. Then calculate the wavelet coefficient C. We will see the formula for this thing. It represents how closely signal is correlated with wave C. For example, if we are getting C equal to greater value of C for this section, it has high similarity. If we are getting lower C, it means the similarity is less. Now, after calculating wavelet coefficient, we shift the wavelet to the right and repeat the steps 1, 2 and then calculate new wavelet coefficient. This process is repeated until the signal is completed. Now, instead of moving the wavelet, we first scale the wavelet and then move and repeat the steps 1 through 3. Repeat steps 1 through 4 for all the scales. We will consider different scaling factors. As we can see, this is the wavelet equation where f of x is the signal and phi of x is the wavelet function. Continuous wavelet transform of a given function f of x is given by above equation. As seen in the above equation, the transformed signal is a function of two variables, t and s, these are called translation scale parameters. Phi of t is the transform function and it is called mother wavelet. Just like Fourier transform, in wavelet transform also we are having inverse functions. That is inverse wavelet transform for continuous and inverse wavelet transform for discrete signals. For here we can observe the equation for inverse continuous wavelet transform, where f of x equal to 1 by c phi integral 0 to infinity integral minus infinity to infinity w of phi of st of x by s square. Now let us compare original signal with the different transforms. Here in the figure 1 we can see original signal, that is amplitude in time domain, and in the second figure we can see frequency domain, that is Fourier analysis. In the third domain we can see short time Fourier transform. In the fourth figure we can see wavelet analysis of a signal given in the figure 1. Now let us try to implement continuous wavelet transform in MATLAB. Here we can use function CWT of x, comma fs. Here x is a variable in time domain and fs is a variable in wavelet domain. For example, this is the original signal. After continuous wavelet transform, we will get the image like this. So this is all about continuous wavelet transform. Thank you for watching.